back to Quiet Please. Hope everybody's having a lovely week and enjoying their summer wherever they are. And as you're enjoying your life out there, you're taking a minute to stop and listen to the one and only Hally Leadbetter, who is joining our show today. Hally is I always struggle with your intro, Hally, because there's so many things. There's business owner, content creator, broadcaster, producer, DJ,
comedy genius
at her wedding, so many things. Hally, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Yeah, well, we should just DJ, just that.
Just DJ Hally. What is your DJ name?
DJ Hallywood.
That's the name of this episode. DJ episode 27, DJ Hallywood.
That's it. Yeah, my college, I got to give credit to Coach Julie Garner at Rollins College for that one. That's what she would call me in college. So yeah, it's stuck. With just, I have it on my wedges actually, Hallywood.
That's really clever.
Wow.
I like that.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, that's a good
but
one.
You always said I think, what is the story when you had your first date with Billy? What was your dream?
Yeah, I don't know what a psycho thing to say on a first date, but I said to my now husband, I said, if I ever get married and if you happen to be the lucky man, then you will witness this. But I really want to DJ at my wedding. And I've always just thought it'd be so fun to I'm always, and Kira knows this, I'm one to ask for the aux cord in a car. Do aux cords even exist anymore? I think it'd probably be more like, let me connect to the Bluetooth. But I've always I've loved to control the aux cord. And I feel like being a DJ is the ultimate aux cord. So I just wanted to have that experience. And yeah, I got to surprise Billy at our wedding with a little mini DJ set, which was very fun.
It's kind of like the modern day mixtape when you used to have a little crush on someone, wasn't it? Back in the day.
Yeah, but this was the ultimate mixtape. There were, the fog machines from the club. She had DJ Khaled do a feature on her set. Like it was the most epic wedding thing.
Little Jim Nance. Let's make this a wedding for the ages.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my God, you called in every favor for the 5 minutes that was, and it was the best 5 minutes ever.
As you should, mate. As you bloody should. It's all about you that day, mate. I learned that very quickly. It was nothing to do with me. It was pretty much Carly's day. And I learned that very quickly when we got married.
I mean, did Carly do most of the planning?
I would say it was a good 99% of the planning. I planned, I was just the credit card, basically. I planned the rehearsal dinner and where we had the rehearsal dinner, which was obviously in a brewery.
Obviously.
So yeah, that was obviously. And the bar tab ran out, which was a significant bar tab, but my family were in town. So that ran out within about an hour. So it was one of the most expensive things at the wedding was the rehearsal dinner.
My family brought all their own vodka to my rehearsal dinner. They just each showed up with a bottle for their table, which is
amazing.
Classic Russians. But
amazing.
Anyway, Hally, hi. How are you, friend? Where are you in the world? What are you up to?
Happy to be here. I'm here in LA, home for a nice 8 days, which is great.
Luxury.
Sleep in my own bed, do some laundry. So yeah, it's great. Happy to be home for a little bit, which is nice. And you guys also travel a ton, so it's nice to have a week at home.
All right, I'm just going to jump right into it, Hally, because this is what the people want to hear. I asked Carly pretty much before we have every guest, and this is the first thing that she wanted to ask. So for those of you who don't know, your dad's a pretty famous golf coach, Mr. David himself. How was it growing up with your dad?
Right for the jugular bell.
Well, no, I'm just interested as well because I'm a golf nerd as well. And it's like the people that he coached and the knowledge and shit, I think it's awesome.
No, it's crazy.
Yeah. It's funny because it's like, it's a tricky, I guess it was good. I mean, if you were like, oh, how was it? I'm like, well, compared to all my other dads, he was my favorite.
He was pretty,
dad,
he was legit.
Yeah. So for me, that was just very normal, growing up, sitting on the back of the range at, Lake Nona and watching my dad teach. I'd sit in the car. I still remember sitting behind Nick Faldo and asking him if he was Nick Faldo or Nick Price.
I bet that went down really well
Classic
with Nick.
mistake.
Yeah, I don't think he enjoyed that. Are you Nick Faldo or Nick Price?
He probably was
yeah.
like, I'm Sir Nick, actually, first of all.
Yeah, get it right.
Get it right.
Get away from me.
Sir Nick. But yeah, so growing up, it was whether it was Justin Rose over for Thanksgiving dinner or Charles Howell at the house. It was just like a very it was a golf bubble that I kind of grew up in. But that was kind of like through the lens which I saw the world. Like I literally thought, I'm sure you guys remember the Golf Channel show, The Morning Drive. Like I thought that was like the news. Like I thought
It is, or it was. It doesn't exist anymore.
In the world. And so when I moved to New York City, that was kind of a funny awakening because people were like, golf, like Leadbetter, that's a weird last name. Like, why do you work in golf? Like, but growing up, it was great. My parents never forced me into playing. I got into it a little bit more myself because my brothers are really good and it's what we talked about around the dinner table all the time. And I was kind of like, oh, I'm kind of left out of this conversation. Maybe I should get into it a little bit. So, after school, I would go to the range and I'd be hitting balls. Hitting balls is a stretch. I'd be topping balls and duffing balls next to Annika, just like striping the shit out of it. My dad tells the story still, like Annika had a girls' junior clinic at Lake Nona, and Annika was like working her way down the range, and I guess had to wait a solid 5 minutes for me to just make contact. And so what's funny is then, at the Hilton Grand Vacations in January, I'm paired with her, and I called my dad. I was like, Dad, I've never been more nervous in my life. Like, this is the most insane thing. Like, I grew up watching this woman, idolizing this woman, and now I guess you could say I'm playing in an LPGA event with her. I mean, neither of us are in the
no,
field.
mate, own it.
It's technically an LPGA event, yes.
Own it.
And so that I've never been more nervous in my life to play with Annika Thornstam at the course where I grew up watching her hit balls and at the height of her career. So yeah, it was just a funny full circle moment. But yeah, I guess going back to your point, it was my dad is the most wonderful, kind, giving man, and I'm happy, that my little Hally self took a liking to golf because it's been such an incredible bond for us. And I was thinking this the other day because someone was like, "Oh, like, did you get?" Like, do you work in golf because of your parents or whatever? And I was like, and I'm like, no, because I love golf and I'm really passionate about it. But I think like for my dad, what he really modeled for me was finding something that you're really, really passionate about. Like, it wasn't so much like the getting into golf that I got from him. I think that was just more like a product of my environment. But like I saw him and how passionate he is. I mean, he eats, sleeps, and breathes golf instruction. He does it every single second of the day. I mean, he can't help himself. Even when we go to like a driving range and he's there to give me a lesson, he can't help but just like walk down the range and see who else might need help. Like he just loves it.
Dude, golf coaches have a different DNA. Like they are all the same. It is insane. Every single golf coach I've met is kind of a little bit like on like that, like a little bit obsessive.
They can't help it,
but they have to be that good.
Yeah, and like how cool to know that you could like make someone's experience better, like help them hit it better, and thus impact their happiness and help them get rid of their slice or whatever the heck they're doing. I always find it funny because people, when they play with me, they assume that I know how to teach. And they're like, what am I doing? I'm like, oh, I don't know.
I'm sure I've asked you so many times, Hally, why am I slicing it?
I'm like, I couldn't tell you. I'm like, and if like, listen, if you're working on something and then you can tell me what to look for, by all means, like alignment, whatnot, for sure. But like, I always joke that it must be like a male gene in my family because both of my brothers are very good golf instructors. But for me, I'm like, I couldn't tell you. I have no idea.
You also grip it the wrong way around.
Oh yeah, I hit it from the wrong side of the ball. I am a lefty. And my little brother's a lefty too. I don't know how that happened. But even it's so funny. my dad, even when he'll teach me and he'll be like, your right hand, like you'll look at the video, like your right hand. I'm like, my right hand. He's like, sorry, left hand. Like even he messes up in it. My favorite though, my dad is a really big jokester, very big jokester. And so I get really excited when I can prank him and it works. So I took, you know how like on an iPhone screen or on an iPhone, you can flip video.
Mm-hmm.
So I took my righty swing is so bad, but I did like my best righty swing and filmed it and then flipped it to lefty and sent it to my dad and said, it just feels like things aren't clicking, things feel off. And he wrote me back a novel. He's like, I've never seen it in this position before.
This is a major issue.
Yeah, he's like, your posture looks like, what is going on? And then I called him. I was like, oh, I'm just kidding with you. And he was like, oh, thank God. He was like, I was going to say, he's like, I didn't know what to say. It's
like, I can't have you out there with the Leadbetter name with that
exactly.
Absolutely not. I know. It's funny. I was playing golf like pretty recently, and the starter was like, your swing looks like it's out of an instruction book. And I was like, well, makes sense. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Kind of it.
Disowned if it didn't.
So you mentioned your dad is a jokester. Is that where you get your humor from?
Yes, I think so. Both of my parents are very entertaining individuals. I think my dad plays it a lot straighter. I feel like my dad has two modes. He's got like his infomercial mode where he'll be like, hi, I'm David Leadbetter. And he very much like Leadbetter, like pronounces the T very strong. And he's very, but much more proper. And then he's got his like funny, more like, the prankster side of him, which I feel like over the years, he's shared more of that with the general public, as you'd say, but he is very, very funny. I'd say probably the funniest person in my family though is my little brother. So he really pushes me to be funny as well. And a lot of ideas or like things that I do are a lot of times in conjunction with him.
Because I remember asking you, this is a couple of years ago now, didn't you take comedy classes?
I did. I took a lot of improv when I lived in New York City, which was so much fun. Did a little bit of stand-up during COVID, but Zoom stand-up, so I don't think it counts.
Oh, no way.
That is tough. That is tough.
But the writing was there. And, that's ultimately why I moved out to Los Angeles, because I was so interested in the entertainment industry and just being around like really creative people. And so I was like, all right, well, if I can keep, my job and I want to continue to work in golf. I love golf, but if I can come to LA and, meet people in the space. And I think that's what's been so cool about living out here is that there's so many people in the entertainment space that love golf too. Mm-hmm. And so I've met so many incredible people that I would have a very difficult time getting in touch with them or spending a lot of time with them if it wasn't for golf. I mean, mm-hmm. I think of like, Michael Pena, Andrew Santino, Nate Bargatze, like all these really incredible entertainers that, I get to chat with and pick their brain and talk to them about projects. All because they love golf and they're like, yeah, sure, let's go play. Yeah, send me that script. Yeah, send me whatever. I'll let you know what I think about it. And again, there's no way I would be able to, chat with any of these people or have any of the relationships that I do if it wasn't for this game that we all play.
So when you're doing like your stuff on social media, and I actually generally, the stuff you do, we are big fans of it over here. It takes quite a lot for me for an American to make me giggle the way you make me giggle, Hally.
She's half and half, so maybe that's why.
Maybe that's why. Actually, yeah, that is why. I'll take that back. Yes. Like, are you the one that's creating all this in your head? Like, are you kind of the sole driver of it?
So we've got a group. We call it, it's a very cheesy name, but we haven't thought of a better name. So we call it Creative Club, and it is myself.
That's very creative.
Yeah.
Very creative for the Creative Club.
Yeah, so it's Better Content Co-Creative Club, BCCCC. And we meet once a week, and it's myself, it's Andrew Wantek, my business partner, my brother James, And then Kate Scarpetta, who played golf at Princeton and played on the Symetra tour, and then and is now a TV writer, and a guy named Forrest Shaw, who's a stand-up comedian. And there's some other people that rotate in, like Jay Larson, who's an incredible stand-up comedian. He directs a lot of our stuff. So there's a couple of people that like come in and out. Carly Chaikin, another one who's a really funny actor that we do a lot of work with. So sometimes it's my idea, sometimes it's Kate's idea, sometimes it's James's idea. And what we do is like we all come together, we talk about it, and then one of us will go away and write it, and then we'll come back and we'll refine it. As you guys know, like a lot of social media, a lot of times the shorter the better. So sometimes we'll like have a script and it's like 4 minutes long, and it's like, okay, well, this is not. The whole thing might be funny, but if we put this out, like no one's going to see it because everyone has the attention that's about 5 seconds. So we have to pick the very best jokes and then, chop it, make sure it's only about like 2.5 pages, because that's the longest you could go to fit it into around that 90-second mark. And then what we do is we have a shoot maybe about once every 3 months where we have, I'll do my odd like cell phone stuff by myself, but we bring in like the full on, 20-person film crew. We've got hair and makeup there. We've got directors and grips and sound people and whatever. And I think that, at least for us, what has been like our really big differentiator is kind of the things that we talk about. It's like, I think we've definitely cornered the market on feminist golf sketch comedy.
Which is brilliant, by the way.
That was kind of the first one that I feel like really blew up. So for those that don't know what exactly it is that we're talking about, can you describe what this vertical is within your overall Hally Leadbetter universe? Because there are many there are many things. And so what this particular one is that we're talking about, and then that first social media video that kind of went viral, or that really did go viral, that was about the women's golf thing.
Yeah. So this is Better Content Co., which is a production company that we officially launched in January. And what we say is we create content that connects and inspires with the modern golf fan, which for us really does happen to be a lot of young women being the largest growing demographic in golf. But not only that, I mean, we've produced commercials for LA Golf and with Bryson DeChambeau. We've done, we just did a bunch of Happy Gilmore 2 stuff for Top Golf. So just very, modern stuff, a lot of social media stuff. But the sketches, honestly, these sketches cost a lot of money. But I really enjoy doing them. So that's number one. And number two, I felt that they would act as almost like a calling card for our business. We could put out this stuff, get people's attention, and if brands are like, oh, that's really funny, that's really clever, and basically use that as like a modern, social media business card, if you will. So that was the thought process, and put it in terms of like putting the investment into it. And the sketch that you're talking about, which is Other Foot Country Club, which is putting the shoe on the other foot, basically flipping the script, and what it would be like to be a man in a world where it's primarily women in the golf space, and what that experience would be like. And so that sketch came out of a series that I did with Golf Pass, owned by our friends at Golf Channel and NBC. And so that's when the sketch comedy started popping off. And that's what I did. My business partner at the time, Andrew Wantuck, was producing that show. And so after that show was finished, I was like, hey, I really want to keep doing these sketches. And also, if we start this production company, I think it's a smart idea if we keep doing this. And so that's how it kind of all came to be. But that first sketch that you're talking about was the one where we kind of flipped the script. And then we've done another one, we've had other sketches throughout the months, like where we had like OnlyFans, which is a play on OnlyFans, obviously, where it's like, and I feel like I'd be curious to get your opinion on you guys, because for whatever reason, like, our partners are in golf, no golf as well. Like, I don't necessarily feel the urge as much to call my husband and like go through every single shot the way that he feels it's necessary with me. And so I'd be curious, Mel, like when you play around, like do you call Carly and go like, yeah, so hit a 3-wood down the left on the first, set myself up with the salt.
I think I did try and do that once and she just put the phone down. And I didn't even realize about 3 minutes that she put the phone down. So I learned my lesson very quickly not to fucking do that again. But no, I absolutely don't feel the need to do that at all.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like I think it's like a dude thing. Like
Andrew will do it sometimes.
It must be a dude thing because I'm like, I know a lot of women that are very big golfers, and I don't think I've ever like overheard them on the phone, like calling their husbands or friends or whatever. But like I've heard a lot of men do it with, and so anyways, that the inspiration behind that sketch, and it was actually my friend Carly's idea first, which was like, what if we had like this call center, like where people, guys could call in and like talk about their rounds because no women really wants to hear it. And then it became this like OnlyFans thing, which would be like a service where, again, a guy could call in, but, then as a woman, you really don't know what they're talking about. So you have like a cheat sheet to be like, oh, that's nuts. That's unlucky, like
bad bounce.
Bad bounce. Yeah. So that's another one we do. So it's funny. And we have we're working on one right now. Another one that I say, I'm like, this will complete the trifecta of our feminist golf niche comedy. And so we'll have a third funny one coming out that we're filming at the end of September that I'm excited about. But yeah, I really enjoy doing those. And again, I've found that even though they're expensive, I just really love doing it. And I love the team that we have. And it has worked. Like we have gotten business and a lot of interest from companies being like, hey, like we really loved the tone of that. Like, what else do you have? Even if it's not necessarily, you're not trying to stake your claim as like a feminist golf brand, we still have like a lot of really incredible ideas and people that can come up with really creative things. And so that's what we're kind of trying to showcase through that.
And what was the feedback like? Because it is quite a fine line, isn't it?
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Of being too much this way, and then people are like, fucking here we go again. Women do blah blah blah. For sure.
I think 98% of it is positive feedback. You'll get the odd, like my favorite is like even now with this, I reposted the whatever other foot country club, and it's kind of popped off again, and it's been funny because the amount of even now, like a couple times a day, their dude will comment on it and be like, I would love this place. Like, I would love to go here. And I'm like, okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And so, but generally very positive. And I think I really enjoy too, if you're trying to make a change or make a point, doing it through humor is a really nice way to do it, because I feel like you can make a point, but you can also say like, hey, it was a joke. So, but like do with this information what you will. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a lot better route to go as opposed to like finger wagging and being like, hey, it's really messed up that women can't play before this certain time. And like, you don't have enough apparel in the pro shop for women or whatever. And because immediately if you try to call someone out for behavior that could be some, problematic, people immediately get defensive and they think that you're calling them a bad person.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I'm not trying to say you're a bad person. I'm just saying that this, could have been said differently, or you could be more open if your club could appeal more to women or to other, demographics if you were to do X, Y, Z, but they immediately think like, you're calling me sexist, you're calling me racist. Yeah. And it's like, no, I'm not. And so they immediately shut down and are no longer open to feedback. So I feel like if you're able to do it this way, one, most of the time they're laughing while they're watching it. And two, then they're able to kind of have that conversation with themselves internally and be like, oh yeah, that is kind of wild. That is
weird. I have noticed that there's only extra XXLs or whatever in the corner.
There is. Why is the women's locker room in the attic? You know?
Yeah. Why do you have no tea times for women on a Saturday? Why can't you play on a Saturday morning? And it's funny because I've said this for years, you know, like people have talked about, because I was speaking quite a bit for years about equality. And I'm like, people automatically go to prize fund. I'm like, that's actually not really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about respect from manufacturers, from golf clubs. Like, how is a woman meant to get into the game of golf when someone like myself, even at times, can't play on a Saturday morning, like, or on a Saturday because it's men's day? How is a woman meant to get involved in golf when she already feels not welcome?
You just gotta go on Tuesdays, Mel, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, because women don't work, remember? And then, like, also, I always said it for years, like me growing up, and it was, you know, with certain companies, it was always bloke, 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 bloke. I never, unless it was someone exceptional, like an Annika, that was the only time I may have seen a woman represented in a pro shop. And I think the narrative is now obviously changing, like the tides are changing. But what you do, I think, is, it, like you said, we're not trying to make it personal. We're not trying to like dig at anything. We're trying to make you guys understand what it's been like for years in our shoes. And you've not even noticed it because you wouldn't notice it because it doesn't affect you. You know?
Right. Exactly. And so that's like when these guys are like, oh, you know, you don't understand. Like, we would love this. I'm like,
would you?
No, you wouldn't.
Probably gets kind of old. And I think too, and I think that's why, I mean, I'm sure you guys have experienced this, like when you show up at a golf course and, you know, the other day I was playing and like my husband hits a shot, no one says anything. It's whatever, fine. My brother hits a shot, no one says anything. I hit the most mid drive of all time. And like three guys are like, hell of a drive.
Yeah.
Like, what the? And it's again, it's like, they don't mean to be, you have to just go, thank you. Like,
I know.
What they're in, and again, because they don't realize what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're inferring that they're surprised that a woman,
I know.
they did.
And they're trying to be nice. Like I get it in the pro. I was like, how do you hit it so much further than me? You're tiny. I'm like, fuck you. I train my ass off.
You're like, I train and I do this for a living. So
it's literally what I do all day, every day. But they're just like, how do you hit it so far? And they're trying to be nice. And they're not trying to be dicks about it.
No. And there's not time to like have a sit down and be like, so what you said right there, it's really problematic.
You're perpetuating a generations long trope of sexism that we're going to solve right now on the first tee at Brentwood Country Club.
And by the way, I'm a raging lesbian.
So let's unpack it.
Let's unpack the whole thing, shall we?
No, I had I was on the range a couple days ago and this guy was warming up in front of me and he looked back and he goes, great tempo. And I was like, thank you, sir. And like, he didn't say anything to Andrew, who was warming up right behind me. I was like, okay, fine, just let it go. And then I was walking over to practice my chipping before the round and he also was going that way. And then in the most, as if he was talking to a child, goes, just so you know, the greens break a lot more than you think. And I was like, okay, thank you. And he goes, have you played here before? And I was like, yeah, actually I have. He's like, oh, okay. Well, then just a great reminder for you then. I was like, sir, no one asked you. Go away.
Listen to this. So the other day I love seeing like golf logos, and a lot of times I'll try to strike up a conversation with someone just because it's like fun. So I see a guy with a Marion backpack. I'm like, Marion backpack, that's cool. He must be a golfer. So we're waiting for our golf clubs, and I started talking to him. And my friend Carly, the actor who's a good player, she's sits next to me, and he's like, "Oh, are you guys golfers?" And we're like, "Yeah." And he's like, He's like, listen to this. He's like, this is a crazy story. I'm like, okay. And he's like, so I was in Mexico last week and I had to play through a group of 4 women and one of them played in college. And I was like, and he was like, it was nuts. He's like, they had to, and I was like, that was the story, that he played through a group of 4 women. And that was crazy.
Wow.
I was like, oh, wow, that's nuts. Crazy.
Crazy bastard.
Anyway, so it was just, I was like, yeah, I mean, I think we're getting out there more, but I was just like, where have you been, Sarah? Like, there's lots of women.
There's lots of groups of women that play golf these days.
I thought this story was going to have a crazy twist, but that was it. That was the story.
It was riveting.
I love what like the Marion backpack thing, or the logos are the Birkin bags of men's lives.
Yes.
So you wore a Pine Valley hat the other day, and some man came up to you and was inquiring if you knew about the various places to stay at PV. And
yes. He was like, nice hat. And I'm like, he's like, did you play? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, where'd you stay? I was like, in the lake house. And he's like, nice.
Respect.
Respect. It was like, yeah, I know about the lake house.
Like a secret club.
Yeah, like, cool, bro. Like it was like he's testing you to see where you stay or what you did. Like,
right. My favorite, I mean, Kira, I feel like you and I have a very similar travel hat situation. Normally we like to wear the Masters trucker hat. But I've recently pivoted to the Pine Valley hat as of late. And I really enjoy, I think one of my favorite things to do is, I mean, most of the time I'm flying in economy. So I walk, as I walk, but generally, there's the well-to-do gentlemen that are flying in first class. And it's so freaking funny. Like they look up and then they do a double take at the hat. Like,
and they all have vests on with their various club logos.
LACC vests.
Club logo belt on.
It's kind of like they're like, I just know that they want to ask. Like I know that they're like, how did she get that hat?
It's like part of being in the Illuminati. It's like a secret club. Whenever you wear like a Masters or a Pine Valley or a Mariana Top Dog golf course, the guys are like, fuck yeah, she's part of our club. Secret nod.
Exactly.
They can't believe it.
So funny.
So how, before you found yourself in the world that you find yourself in now, which is so unique in this space, there was a time when you wanted to be a professional golfer.
Oh man. Yeah, there was a very short, actually, no, there was a long window, and it's actually pretty funny. Mel, I'd be curious if do you know Aaron Rye's girlfriend?
Nope.
Okay, so I'm blanking on her name, so please forgive me, but she's a very good player. She plays in India and England. So she's Europe and India, I believe. So
Should I Google her name?
Yeah, if we could find her name, that would be great.
He is engaged to Gorika Bishnoi. I really hope I'm saying that
oh my
correctly.
Gosh,
I'm so sorry if I'm not.
To hear that. Congratulations to them.
Congrats, Aaron and Gorika.
Yes. So it was funny. I was at the Sentry in January. We saw each other, and the last time we saw each other was LETQ school in Morocco. And she's like, yeah, I'm still playing. She's like, when did you stop playing? I'm like, literally the round with you in Morocco. I was like, mid-round. I was like, yeah, no, fuck this. I'm like, no, I'm out. But yeah, so there was a window there. I mean, in high school, that's why I went to IMG Academy, because I knew that I needed to get a lot better. Because like I said earlier, did not like golf when I was younger. And I'm a very all or nothing person. So I went from like being like, I don't like golf to like, I'm going to play on the LPGA. Like there's no in between. I was like, no, golf's not for me. Actually, I want to play on tour.
Just kidding. Annika, watch out.
Yeah, exactly. So, ended up knew that if I wanted to do that, I needed to get a lot better very quickly. So went to IMG, worked really hard, earned a college scholarship, was at Arkansas for a couple years, played on the team there. And then ended up transferring to Rollins. And at that time, that's when I was like, I'm not 100% sure if professional golf is what I want to be doing. And then my mom, who was really the best golfer and most accomplished golfer in our family, played on the LPGA. And she was like, Hally, like, I'll be honest, I know you, and I just don't think this is the life for you. But if you want to give it a go, like, we fully support you. So, graduated from Rollins, gave it about 6 months. And, then what was really funny is, then I went to go work for Golf Digest, and, the rest is how we ended up here. But I do think it's really funny because I am going to try to qualify for the mid-am next week, but I put off trying to get my amateur status back for such a long time because I thought it was going to be like this really difficult, like hard, long, complicated to do. You guys, the form took me 7 minutes to fill out. The form took 7 minutes. And then I text, and it's based like how long it's going to take is based on how much money you made as a pro. So I text my friend at the USJ and he was like, hey, yeah, let me check in. I'll check with like the department to see how long. And he screenshots a text that said like, hey, Hally just submitted her, to become an amateur. How long do you think it'll take? And it just said, no reason why it shouldn't be immediate.
$0 made.
I was like, okay, that's rude.
Rude. USDA. Shots
They're just
fired.
like, oh yeah, okay, whatever.
You're like, thanks.
Yeah, what's the harm in
like-
letting Hally turn amateur again?
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, okay, no problem.
Yeah, that's not threatening at all. Let's go.
Yeah, no. So I was like, I think I put it off for like 2 years. So I was like, it's going to be really complicated. And I'm sure I'm going to have to,
go through my whole professional history, and they're probably going to get rejected because of my results and the way I just slayed. No. And so and then by the time you text them, it's already gone through.
Who could forget Morocco?
I know the Morocco. Yeah, that didn't end well. That did not end well. Lovely pizzas in Morocco.
It's a strange
Lovely
place.
Pizza?
Really nice pizzas at the that's the only thing I remember about that week that I enjoyed was after I'd go shoot 78 and be like, can I get a pizza and an Orangina, please?
Orangina, stop it, mate. It's one of my favorite drinks, Orangina.
So good.
Oh gosh, you're making me think
the
of it now.
ultimate, just sad.
Yeah, I was like, oh, get me out of here.
What was it about when your mom was saying that she didn't think that professional golf was going to necessarily match with you or your personality? Mm-hmm. What was it that she was maybe talking about that you now looking back, you're like, oh, maybe you were right, Mom?
I think that I talk too much, that I enjoy that I enjoy like camaraderie and being around people.
Yeah. So you like it, you like having fun.
Yeah, I like having fun. And like the irony is like I played with my mom last week. My mom was like, I don't think you've ever hit it better. I was like, I know, because I don't give a shit. I'm like, whatever.
It's not too late, Hal.
It's not. I think it's much too late.
Maybe not for the bid. But Mel always talks about this too. It's like she feels like she should have played on a team sport because she loves the camaraderie.
I love the camaraderie. And that's honestly why another reason why I wanted to start this production company was because I really missed, when I was at Golf Digest full time and I worked with some people that you guys know, like Nicole Ray and Claire Rogers. And we had this awesome team chemistry, and it was so much fun to run those channels together. And then when I became a freelancer, I was kind of off in my own little world, and I really missed that team component. And so I've kind of been able to recreate that a little bit again with the production company. And when we all come together and come up with ideas, it's just so much fun. So I think my mom was just like, yeah, I think you're not going to have too much fun out there living by yourself. And so it's been cool though. I mean, I still get to, I think of you guys know, Gemma Dryborough, who's a dear friend. We went to high school together, and it's been so fun to, I got to play alongside her again in the Hilton Grand Vacations. And it was just really fun because, if you watch us play like one hole together, I think you'd be like, oh yeah, maybe you could get it to get out there. But then she beats me by 12 shots because she's just so much better. But it was actually really funny. Billy was like, Hally, you need to, he's like, because if we look at you, he's like, you look relatively athletic.
Billy is your husband.
My husband, sorry. Yes, my husband, Billy. He's like, you need to somehow symbol that you're not a professional golfer if people watch you play. So I was like, you're right. I was like, I'm going to wear a claw clip because no professional golfer. Professional golfer screams, this is casual. This is casual.
That's the thing you stick
I'm
in
not
the back
taking
of your
this
head.
too seriously.
Yeah, it's like a claw,
You need to give me a description. Anything slightly feminine, I will need a description.
Oh yeah, Mel's like, what's a claw clip? Sorry, Hally, explain.
A claw clip is like those teethy hair
Teeth
clips.
Things. Yeah, got it.
And so I was like, nobody in their right mind would wear a claw clip that's playing golf seriously. So I'll wear a claw clip, and that's how people, in my mind, it made me feel better. It was like, oh, clear. This is a casual thing for her. She's not in the actual professional field.
Okay, so I'm always asking for advice on social media. Kira prompts me quite a lot.
Hey, I liked your Puma handshaking one. That was nice.
I thought that all by myself. I obviously had to I had to confirm it before I do anything with Cassette and Liv, our agents. But they were very impressed with me, and it was one take wonder, by the way. Can I just say?
Wow!
Everyone go to Mel's Instagram and comment,
please.
and subscribe.
I'm definitely too old to be doing that trend, but I enjoyed doing it.
No, great.
Oh, come on! I
No,
don't know.
but that's the thing, Hally. You always talk about that is climbing cringe mountain. That can you just
gotta
explain?
Climb cringe mountain for sure. Yeah, I think Tinks, one of I don't know if you guys follow her, but
I love
she's
Tinks,
she's funny and she's a influencer, and she was just like, yeah, you got to be willing to put yourself out there and climb cringe mountain. And to be honest, like if anybody is thinking, like you kind of just have to like brush it again, kind of like what my dad says, like you just kind of have to like brush it off and just because if the further along you get and if you want to, separate yourself and, especially if you want to use social media as a marketing tool for your business or for your personal brand, et cetera, like you got to be willing to put yourself out there. And some of the things are going to flop and some of the things are going to be that funny, but some of the things will pop off. And you just have to kind of be okay with that. And even like, and that goes so much as like silencing the own voices in your head as well. Like there's always, I have the little voices like, oh my God, like this is so cringe, or this is what we have to do. Like be like, shut up. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, whether those people are are real and saying that to your face, or you think they're saying that, or there's an actual voice in your head, like you just have to kind of be able to put it aside if you want to use social media in that way. Yeah. And sometimes I think it can be tricky to go from not using it that way to jumping in and using it and then being like, oh my God, what are people going to think? And it's like, fuck them. Like they think whatever they want to think. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to be uncomfortable and put yourself out there if you ever want to, use it in any way to make an impact of any kind.
So Ilona Maher talks a lot about this type of stuff. She, obviously the Olympian from Team USA Rugby, all of her colleagues in sport, especially women, come to her and say, how can I build a following like you've built? And obviously she's become a huge superstar. She's on Dancing with the Stars. She's got every brand deal under the sun. She's in Sports Illustrated. And the first thing she says is just post it, put your phone down. Who cares? It's so low stakes. It doesn't matter. And I need to live this. Constantly need to remind myself because I work myself up into a frenzy about what all the different factions of people in my life are going to think. What are my parents going to think? What are my bosses at Golf Channel going to think? What are my friends going to think? What is my podcast co-host going to think? Because she's super judgy. Just kidding, Mel.
Very judgy.
And then it stops me from pressing post. Like my drafts in my TikTok and Instagram they're so deep, and I sometimes just can't break myself out of it because I've worked myself into this cage of psycho. But I need to be more like Ilona and Hally and just post it.
Yeah.
Just do it. I mean, listen, I was talking earlier with somebody about this and they were talking about like, women in the golf space, like how do you decide like how you want to use social media? And, there are some people that, maybe are a little bit more provocative and get attention that way. And I was like, ultimately, it just comes down to like what you want it to be for, right? Like if you're trying to build a huge following and that is your ultimate goal, then by all means, like post the bikini golf swing videos. If
that's you. Yeah. Like you got to be authentic to you. Like we had Paige on, didn't we? Sprunning. She was fascinating to talk to. She's like, this is me. Like I dress like this normally. People think I do it for the gram. This legitimate has been me for years. And so I'm just like showing my brand off because this is actually who I am and it's authentically me. And I'm like, girl, that is exactly what people want.
Because she's authentic, she has a massive following.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, like people can sniff inauthenticity very quickly. And
for sure.
That.
So I think that's what it comes down to. It's like, you always, I've had people say to me like, hey, if just kind of watch it with the feminist golf comedy stuff, like just be careful. And And listen, like, I'm not going to do anything that's going to, certain relationships or like, you keep that stuff in mind. But ultimately, like, I also like to think that if you are authentic and you are showing what you believe in and what your values are, that the right partners and people are going to gravitate towards you as
100%.
well. Like, if you don't like this, then, or if this rubs you the wrong way, then I'm probably not the right person to be working with your brand or your company, et cetera, and there are plenty where it would be a better fit.
Exactly. And also what you're doing, mate, you're just highlighting what actually is happening, and you're doing it in such a funny way that I think it's like the perfect way to do it. Like, I love this, like, the comic side of it. Like, I think it's hilarious because it's a gentle way of making a very big statement. I think it's the perfect way to kind of just like lean into that.
Yeah. My favorite is, like, I find that the when the people are upset about it in the comments, it's generally those same people that are calling people that are more progressive snowflakes.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm like, look who's a snowflake now.
Sorry, Jeff.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, Jeff. Was this triggering to you? Because normally they're saying that to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I just love clicking on their profiles, and it's always like God, family, girl,
fish.
Dad. Like,
yeah, exactly.
And a fish. Yeah.
Fish and a fish. We love fish, don't we, Kara?
Oh my God. Can you tell a story, please?
Oh yeah. So on our trip to Pine Valley, shout out Marissa Marr, our wonderful friend.
Any excuse to bring it up.
I don't know if you've ever heard of it, Mel, but it's a pretty, anyway. So
I think Kira mentioned it to me because I was really jealous I didn't get invited. So she was like,
my God.
So she was trying to be nice. Then she went, oh my
two.
God. And then we did this and this and this. I was like, that's really not helping Kira, but thank you.
Yeah. Well, the fishing was not, I mean, they were like, yeah. And then after we play golf, we can go fish. And I think I was like, all right, okay, sure. Let's go do it. I don't think either one of us fancies ourselves a fisherwoman, but why not? When in Rome, right? So we go and we're staying at the lake house, and the nice people at the club set us up with our fishing rods. And we didn't think we were going to catch anything. But we did.
Monster.
We caught a huge fish, Mel. It was
what kind of fish was it?
And if you're cutting this for social, put it up on the screen. Check this out. What a prize.
Just a monster for your Instagram profile photo.
Oh, you should have done that as your profile. You should, honestly, why didn't you do that?
Change it.
Was it tiny?
It was the smallest fish you've ever seen. It was
oh my God, was it like a tadpole?
It really put up a fight.
It did.
It did, Mel. It was like you off the tee, like tiny but powerful.
Compare me to a fish.
No, the best was that, like, Hally's reeling it in, and all of us are screaming. Just, we can't believe that, that she is reeled in this fish.
Okay.
And she pulls it out and she goes, what do I do now?
We didn't know what
This
to
is
do.
why women aren't allowed at these golf clubs, ladies. You're not given a very good narrative here, are you? You're not helping the cause. You're fucking screaming your tits off.
There's nobody on the course at 4:30.
Oh my God.
Just literally going,
Like, who let this group of ladies in here?
yeah.
They loved us. No, I think they were
Refreshing.
Yeah, they loved it.
And then we were able to that evening when we went to the bar, we were telling everybody was really excited to hear about our fish.
They all wanted to hear about it. It was a great talking point.
Yeah, it was.
Everyone was so impressed.
Okay, well, you're not allowed to go again without me. I want to catch a big fish / a 2-incher. I want to do this stuff. I want it on my profile picture. It would be great for my content.
The ultimate profile picture.
It would be just the fish.
Well, from the sounds of it, you need some alpha in that group. So I'm more than happy to take on that role, ladies. Okay, I got you. I would be like, calm down. It is literally a tadpole. Can everyone just stop screaming?
No, you would have been screaming. You would have been like, ah!
In my dress. Yeah, of course it would.
It's so
Mel,
good.
do you wear golf skirts ever?
No, my dick would hang out. I'm absolutely not wearing a golf skirt.
Silly
No.
me.
Honestly.
How could I have asked that?
It does. It does. You can see at the bottom, just the tip of it. But
Yeah,
no, I
just the
don't.
tip.
No, just the tip.
Oh,
No, absolutely not. Like, no, when like Puma come to me, that like when I first signed with them, they're like, "Oh my God, I got these gorgeous skirts." I was like, "Gorgeous, never going to wear them, so don't send them to me."
Gorgeous.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Gorgeous skirts.
If I do a girls trip though, and I somehow lose a bet, I would do something funny like that. I like comedy like that. So that'd be good content.
Yeah, there we go. I love that.
See,
I'd have to bring a thong.
She's getting her content thoughts going.
I know.
Yeah, we need to create.
You can have so much fun with me, Hally. Just you can have so much fun with me.
Yeah, Mel, what are your content pillars?
Oh, perfect. I'd love to hear this. Okay, what are your buckets, Mel?
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means.
I'm in the process of figuring out my buckets. It would be so like social media managers, they're like, okay, you should have 3 to 5 pillars. So like Mel, you could be like fitness, family, golf, and then basically coming up. So you're not just like posting willy-nilly. It would be like coming up with a bit of a structure so you don't
cassette makes me do this.
Building out your content calendar, if you will. It would be
I don't know if this is going to work for me because I don't really understand, but I've been trying to do this for years. So obviously golf, family,
that's one.
Family. I don't know really. Just this is what I want to do. I like want to make my life funny because like I obviously have a toddler and shit, and like my wife and stuff who like 5 days a week just can't stand me, and so I just annoy the shit out of. So I just think it's funny content. So like things like that, I think would be really funny, like funny normal life shit.
That could be the overall tone, and of the presentation of the content. I think you got to lean into your funny humor for sure. But I think you could do golf, family, sport. And then you could have like wellness, fitness kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You're really good
Would
at
lesbian count?
Yeah.
I think that's a tone thing as well.
It could be a tone. I don't know if that quite deserves its own.
Unless you're going like you're making your page full on lesbian content, lesbian comedy, which is a thing. There's plenty of people that make their brands on just being a lesbian.
Yeah, no.
But
I like those 3. I think family, golf, and
family, golf, and lesbian.
Family, golf, lesbian.
Family, golf. Okay, yeah, cool. Okay. Great. And then just put humor in it as a tone. Humor is then a tone.
Humor, lesbianism is the tone.
It's just the tone of me. Just
there's I'm thinking of a mom blogger. I'll send it to you, Mel. But basically, she makes a bunch of videos around her pillar is definitely like being a mom for sure. And then all of her content is the funny things around that, like hiding in a closet from her toddler who's trying or in the bathroom and she's trying to have, go to the bathroom and have some quiet time. Or, when her husband comes home from work and doesn't want to do anything and she like makes a joke about that, or I don't know, just you can involve humor into your pillars. And
Kira, what are your pillars? I need some more. Can I get some more beauty content? Because I literally buy everything that you ever post.
I know. I need to be better about that. I'm literally, not to toot my own horn, but I'm like literally a beauty expert. I know it doesn't look like it right at this moment.
No, you really are.
No, you actually are, Kira.
But I can say that from deep rooted experience. And I've had my makeup done thousands of times, and I've had makeup lessons done thousands of times, and I've used so many different I like all of that, and I can like the tanning stuff and all that. I need to be better about that.
Yeah, you do, because I actually do listen to that.
But every time I post something like that, because more than half my audience now is male, so sometimes I'll post stuff like that, and then the male commenter will be like, why are you putting this on? Or you look better with no makeup on, or like, this isn't what I came here for.
Well, but that post that you just did though isn't for him, is it? It's for you women followers.
Yeah. No, I know. But that's probably like, it happened one time and then I absorbed that comment and then it just became like.
Kira, I literally like bookmark your beauty posts and go back and I'm like, what was that again? Like I bought that Mario content.
Oh, you did? That stuff is great.
I did as well.
Yeah, I bought that. I bought your silly Georgie things.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, fine. I will be better about my beauty content.
Please commit to your beauty pillar.
Yeah.
Okay, so beauty and beauty and like fashion-y things can be one of that's like one pillar.
Love it. I feel like Amanda's done really nicely with her fashion pillar as of late.
Yes, she's been really good about links. I need to be better about links as well because I often will just post stuff and say what it is, but then I'm not putting the link to it, or I'm not. You got to get your affiliates. Golf, obviously.
Yes.
I think that travel, but not necessarily like, oh, look at me in this cool place, but how we travel, like the travel hacks, the way that you figure out sleep and packing and supplements and stuff on the road. Obviously that's a big one for us. And then broadcast stuff, I guess.
Yeah. I love that.
Those feel like 4 solid pillars to me.
Great pillars. Love those.
So what are yours?
Ooh, what are mine? That's great. Well, I've been trying to figure it out. I think mine are, similar. I kind of struggle with Kira a little bit on this one. And like, I'd want to do more mental health stuff, but sometimes I'm like, I don't know if people want to see that or like hear about that at all.
I love your mental health stuff.
I think you should share more.
Okay.
Like with what you're comfortable with. Sorry, I wasn't like.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I'd like to do more mental health stuff. I'd love to have that be a pillar. And for me, fitness and wellness and stuff, that's all part of that because I don't know, I'd be curious how you guys feel about this, but I found since I stopped playing golf seriously, I've really struggled with like what purpose is my fitness taking? Like, what am I doing this for? If, and sure, to maintain a certain aesthetic, like I'm not like, I'm not going to lie and say that's not part of it. But I also know that I genuinely feel so much better, so much more awake and sharp when I am working out consistently. And so, for me, fitness, wellness, whatever, like that could be one pillar. I think the other pillar for me is golf sketch comedy that, sketches, just funny golf content. And then the third one is probably I want to do more about like building my business and like building my businesses and like I think I've told Kira about this, but I don't think I've told you, Mel. So I can't officially announce it yet, but I got a pretty cool thing that I'm working on that's coming out in January. And that process has been really, really fascinating. And I've been filming like the behind the scenes of that. So in January, when we launch it, I can share it all and talk about like how we came to this point.
We'll have you on again then so we can hear all of that.
Perfect. We can talk about that. Great. So I'd say those 3, and then maybe also like to Kira's point, like the travel hacks I'm still working on this. But yeah, I've got like 4 or 5 that I think that I could commit to.
And also like we're constantly evolving, aren't we? So like things change and like, well, I think that's why I struggle with, because I'm a bit like, well, if I've said this is how it should be, but I'm quite difficult with change. I'm a Virgo, so I don't really like change very much. So, but I see what you're saying. Yeah. But I think your mental health stuff, mate, I love when you do it. I think that you just never know who's listening and who you're helping. And I'm sure you're helping a lot more people than you actually think. And it's really brave to do, because we're kind of around this world where everything should be perfect and it's fucking far from it. And so for you to be that vulnerable, I always encourage it. If anyone's ever comfortable saying it, it genuinely does really, really help so many people.
You're right. Okay. Well, I will make that a bucket then, guys. I'm glad we could work through this together.
Well, while we have you, we can let's look. I would love, if you're comfortable with it, to share a little bit more on the mental health journey and why it's important for you to make that a bucket.
Yeah, definitely. So, I've always really struggled with my mental health. I was diagnosed with like pretty severe OCD when I was like 9 or 10. So from a very young age. And that was because, my parents and therapists, et cetera, like I would do a lot of things outwardly. Like, when you see those shows about people that have to like go back and check their door 8 times to make sure it was locked. Like that is me. But as I got older, I stopped doing it like so much outwardly, because I realized the things I was doing, like I had to touch things a certain amount of times. I could only wear certain colors on certain days. Like I realized what I was doing was like odd outwardly and so then it but my brain still works like that. So whether it's having to have things in like, organize a certain way, or having to, follow up with somebody because I'm afraid that I offended them and I need like verbal confirmation that I did not offend them. So it's been a very interesting journey figuring out like, okay, this is part of me. And it's also a double-edged sword, like being super OCD, like I'm very on top of things. Things don't fall through the cracks. I am constantly like, I'm, drawing these like intricate webs in my head of like connecting people, and this would be good and that would be good. And I think it makes me who I am, but at the same time, like it can be very, very distressing. And so, having a therapist and learning more about myself and building up my toolbox of how, having things in my toolbox that when I'm not feeling well, I can lean on. I almost feel like OCD for me is like a rash. It does tend to like, it's like kind of will subside, but then it'll flare up at various points. And for me, it really flares up a lot around things that I perceive to be like very, very important, So like when I did mornings at the Masters, like, woof, like it was like off the charts. It was super, super OCD that week.
Which, by the way, just as an aside, that was an amazing, groundbreaking show that you and Roger did with CBS at the Masters, and was so well received. But having also been in a similar-ish position, I understand the, it's a lot. It's a huge deal. So that on top of also dealing with something that has been a challenge for your entire life that's big.
Yeah. So no, it was good because like, the more you do it though, and the more like the only way that you can prove to yourself that you're capable of doing something like that, or that you are capable of managing whatever emotions or compulsions you have, is to kind of like is to do it. That's like where you see a lot of like when those people that you see on TV that have pretty severe OCD, like, and they have to physically like not allow themselves to go check that the stove's turned off or check that the door is locked, because the way that what's happening in your brain is you're essentially like, it's almost like it's just like a kind of a bizarre analogy, but it's kind of like a woodpecker, like knocking on a tree, and you have to be strong enough to know that it's not a real concern. And so your brain is tricking yourself into thinking like, oh, it is a real concern. And I do need to like put my attention to it, but you have to be like strong enough to be like, no, I don't need to go check the door. I know that the oven's off. I was just there. I just turned it off. And so it is kind of like, it's a constant dance. And it's funny because when you give in to the compulsion, it's sort of like your anxiety subsides, but it always comes back stronger. So it's like, it's this never ending pattern. And you kind of just have to like, one, have the like commitment and wherewithal to ignore whatever, thoughts and fears and feelings that you're feeling overwhelmed by. And that, can be done with tools from your therapist, with medication, just positive self-talk. And so, it's been a very interesting journey up to this point. And I'm definitely like, I've done a lot of therapy, and I think I've gotten a lot better with it. And it's something that also I think makes me who I am too. Yeah. So it's 100%. It's definitely interesting, but you're right, Mel. I probably should share more about it, because whenever I do post about it, I almost always get a message from someone being like, I really struggle with anxiety too, or I really have OCD. I have like pretty severe OCD, or like my kid has OCD. That's another one. Like sometimes I'll talk to some people that they themselves don't struggle with it, but they have a sibling or a daughter or someone that really does. And they're like, what can I do? Like, how can I help this person in that scenario? So whether you yourself are impacted by some struggles with mental health, if you're not, you almost certainly know someone that is. And so how to kind of help them along as well is important.
100%. Well said, mate. Very well said. Thanks for sharing that.
Of course.
There's one thing that you said there that your brain is always thinking about connecting people. And one of the ways that I would describe you is as a great connector. And I've told you this many times. I've told many people this many times, but I can link back most of my golf life existence to Hally, because she was the first person, I think, that sent me a DM on Instagram in 2015, I want to say, 2016.
Yeah.
Something like that. It was after I had played in my first Pro-Am as Miss America. And Hally was friends with our friend Megan Lamoth, who started Foray Golf. And Hally reached out to me on Instagram and said, hey, just think it would be cool for you to connect you with this women's golf brand, and just would love to get you more involved with some women's golf stuff, blah, blah, blah. So we met in LA. And we've been friends ever since. But Hally then, introduced me to this person and this person and this person. And then that took on a life of its own. And Hally has done that over and over and over and over and over again with so many different people in our space, and probably beyond golf as well. So I think that's just one of your great superpowers, is that you're always thinking about how can I put these people together to make something great. And that's one of the things I love about you the most.
Oh, that's very sweet. Well, I enjoy doing it. Like, it's really fun to be like, oh, so-and-so should talk to so-and-so about this, or so-and-so and so-and-so would be great friends. So I appreciate it. And I'm glad that I can help in any way. It's really fun for me.
It's fun for me too. I love being a Hally connection.
Oh, I'm
all right,
so
Hal,
glad.
what's your shush of the week?
Shush of the week, you guys. So I saw Backstreet Boys over the weekend at the Sphere, which was insane. I honestly want to shush alcohol. Like, alcohol giving me bad hangovers, because I think it's insane. I can't.
Yeah, it's not fair.
It's not fair.
Like, it's so fun.
It's so fun. And I never used to get hangovers like this. And like it's like a 2-day thing now. So
you have been posting a lot of recovery content from Vegas.
Yeah.
I would like to shush 2-day hangovers. I don't know
Well said.
who gave it permission to affect me this way, and like at what point it hit me. But I remember in college, not that I was ever like a crazy, crazy drinker, but I definitely probably drank the amount that I drank over the Weekend. And I'd pop up the next day like, woo, just no problem. And now it's like, I need the sauna. I need the IVs. I need the green Joe's juices. Like, and it's just like, I just really have to pick my spots now if I'm going to have a big night out.
That one, as far as big nights out go, that's probably the best. But yes, it's at a price.
Yes, very much at a price.
Mate, try being hungover with a fucking child.
Oh,
I've done it.
God.
I've like been horrific. Well, not horrifically, but like pretty badly hungover with Kai a couple times. I like almost fainted once changing his bum. Like, I had to call Carly in. I was like, Carly, I'm literally about to face down on our son. Like, he just can't help us. In his poo. Because it smelled so bad. I just couldn't deal with it.
Oh, no.
Try that. It's one of the most awful things I've ever experienced.
So
and
it
actually stops me drinking. So it's probably a good thing.
Exactly. I know. I think going back to like picking your spots, I'm definitely like, I don't know, even like one, I'm just like the next day I'm like, our Oura ring, it's like, yeah, no, shouldn't have done that.
Your heart rate is elevated today.
Yes.
Yeah,
like,
Aura, shut up.
I feel it. I know.
But it's so fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
I know, it is fun. It's fun. It is a good time. But yeah, so I think the 2-day hangovers I'm shushing, because I'm just like, what is happening? This is not cool. Yeah.
Kira, do you have a shush of the week?
Yes, my shush. I'm currently in Lake Tahoe, and I consider myself to be a generally healthy person. I have not ever huffed and puffed more than I have over the last week. The altitude, I am going to shush because I'm really struggling.
I heard it in the voice note yesterday.
Yeah, I sent Mel a voice note yesterday.
She's
and I was
so anyway, I was like, what is she doing? This is really awkward. She's like, I'm just going up a hill and it's fine. I was like, oh, okay, thank God. I was like, I know we're close,
shush
but
to the altitude and the altitude training that I'm doing. But you know what? Maybe at the end of the week, I'll just be such an athlete that I've been here this whole time going on 3-mile hikes that are a very gradual incline.
That's so funny.
That's my shush.
Very good.
Mel?
So my shush of the week, because we travel so much, I'm sure you two will agree with me. When you get off the plane, you go to baggage claim, can people stop going so bloody close to the baggage claim so that none of us can get our suitcases off? It is so annoying. Your suitcase will come out, whether you're 5 feet from it or 5 inches. Probably stand 5 feet away so everybody else can get their luggage. It drives me insane.
That's a really good point. They should put some sort of line around it. And it's like, only cross this line when you see your
See your
bag.
Your bag.
Like,
That's
you don't need to
great.
stand literally hovering and touching it for your bag to
Yes.
come. So that's my shush of the week.
I saw
Love it.
something funny today that was said like, when TSA is saying, take out everything from your pockets and make sure you have your bag, your laptop in the thing. And they're explaining what you should do before you go through security. And then what the person is hearing is the Charlie Brown teacher. Because they're not actually paying attention. And they get there, they're like, I have to take my belt off? What?
Oh, it's so funny. It's so annoying. As travelers that travel all the time, it's quite annoying. And I feel
It's
bad
so
getting annoyed.
annoying.
But people
The
are like,
fact
oh
that
yeah, I've got
someone
my
is
phone in
in
my pocket.
pre-check.
I don't do pre-check. I can't do it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's 'cause,
it's Hallie, you can't make a face like that because you didn't have pre-check forever.
Yeah,
And-
but now I do. And so now I can make a face.
But,
Yeah,
but
fair,
Mel
no.
has an excuse because
I'm British.
she's British and whatnot.
Do they not do
There's
pre-check?
something about it. I don't know. Someone told me you can't get pre-check, so I've just never gone into it.
You've
It's
never
probably a
tried.
lie.
It's probably going to be the
Oh.
same thing like me getting my amateur status back. It's going to take you 2 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But she's not really that harmful.
Yeah. Yeah, let her in.
Hally, thank you so much, mate. You are an
Thank you
absolute
guys.
treat to always be around, and you keep doing you, girl, because I absolutely love the shit that you put out. And I think that it really is moving the needle. Nobody's doing what you're doing. So in the women's game, and doing it in such a really cool way and funny way. And I do generally think you're really funny. So please keep being you. And we've loved having you on.
Yeah.
Thank
Thanks,
you guys.
Hal. A true original. And we're so grateful to have you on Quiet Please.
Oh, love you both. Thanks for having
Love
me.
ya. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.